Okay, now let us continue the class. Now we had covered till now regarding third unit, definition and motion of a rigid body in the plane, and rotation in the plane, and kinematics in a coordinate system. Okay, rotating and translating in the plane. Now regarding those topics, we had seen few equations and their relations. Now this is regarding the translation motion or the linear motion. If we can consider this as a translation motion here, and here regarding the rotational motion. So these are the representations, and here these are the representations. And the third one is going to give the relation here between those. Okay. It is going to give the relation between the translation and the rotational motion here. Now you had already got what is theta means. It is the angular displacement. Okay. Next, omega is the angular velocity. Next, alpha is the angular acceleration. Now these things we had seen in the previous class, and now we will go with the last topic, and here we will have the repetition of few points regarding these topics also. Now here the remaining topic is the angular momentum. If you can see the syllabus here, so this is the old syllabus actually. Now here you are having only up to this point regarding the new syllabus. So this is the last topic of the third unit. So let us refer to the last topic. Now here, let me write here. The topic is the angular momentum here. Okay. We are going to deal about the angular momentum, about a point of a rigid body. Now here, let us refer to a diagram. This you had already seen in the previous explanations. So consider this as a circular disk. Circular disk. Now here, this is a center of the disk here, and let us draw a line here passing through this particular point. So here, this line is known as the axis of rotation. Axis of rotation. So this disk is going to rotate, okay, about this particular axis. Okay. Now, depending on this, we are going to get the explanation of this topic here, angular momentum. We need to find what is the angular momentum. Now for that one, let us take a point. Okay, I will take the same diagram. Okay. Now here, this is a disk here. Now on the disk, you identify this is the center of the disk, and from the center, let us estimate that there is a point. A point is there, or a particle here, point particle here, and it is at a distance of r. Okay. Now it is trying to move with a velocity v. It is going to move with a velocity v. Now due to this, what you can expect, as this point is fixed on the disk, it is going to rotate. Okay. And due to the rotation, you are getting the angular velocity concept. We are going to get the angular velocity concept. Okay. And before going to see about the angular velocity, you can identify few more points here. Now we are considering a particle is there. Okay, particle here, this particular point here, we are considering about this. Okay, it is having a mass m, or if this is one of the particle, if this is particle number 1, you can consider it as m1. Okay. Now understand that there is a mass of the particle and it is moving with some velocity v. So velocity will be having a direction. Now if you take the product of these two, then we are going to get this as a momentum. We will get the momentum of the particle. So momentum of the particle how can you give this momentum? You can have this as P equals to m into v. Now, if you are marking the directions, so here v is a vector and m is a scalar here. So now, what is the resultant quantity here? It is also a vector. So momentum is also a vector. So there will be the arrow mark representing. So now, what is the direction of this particular result? The momentum means it is similar to that of the velocity. Whatever the direction of particle is there, the momentum of the particle is also same to the direction of the velocity. So now here you got a concept of momentum. Now here what we are going to do, this particular point which is having the, a particle occupied by the particle here, it is having a momentum due to the motion. Now here what we are doing, we are fixing this particle, okay, at a distance of r from the center of this, okay, and what we are saying, we are going to apply a force here. Due to that, it is going to rotate, the point is going to rotate. Now due to that particular rotation, you are going to get the concept of angular velocity, okay. Now due to that, you got the relation here, the velocity and the angular velocity both are related with this, sorry, this is a r here, okay, with this relation here, okay, that we had seen in the earlier classes. Now here you got only momentum of a single particle. This is for a single particle. Now we are having large number of particles, okay. Now depending on that particular concept, we will add one more point before going to see about the total number of particles. Now regarding this particular point or the particle here, as it is rotating here, we are going to get a concept that momentum, okay, momentum due to the rotation. This is a momentum due to the moving of the particle. It is having a momentum. The particle is moving with a velocity v. So due to this particular velocity, you are getting a momentum. Now what is the thing we are going to explain here? The particle is having a momentum and this particle is going to rotate here. So due to this particular rotation, again we are going to get a momentum. Okay. Now here the momentum of this linear momentum, we can consider this as a linear momentum. The momentum of linear momentum of a particle, okay, moving or rotating, consider it as rotating about the fixed axis. Okay, now here what is the fixed axis? This is the fixed axis here. This dotted line represents the fixed axis. So due to that rotation, we are going to get the momentum of this particular linear momentum, which can be given as L here. Okay, the representation is L. For linear momentum, it is P. Now the momentum of linear momentum. Simply we can call this particular thing as the angular momentum. Instead of considering all these things, we can consider this as the angular momentum. Angular momentum. Okay. Now here the angular momentum L can be given as R cross P. Okay. Now why we are considering R cross P? Now let us identify here the direction of P will be same to the direction of V. Now you can mark here P is there instead of V and omega. Let me do one thing. I will erase this to avoid the confusion. Okay. Now I'm going to replace here. Okay, let me write here. So here this is the direction of P, the momentum, the linear momentum of the particle. Now if you can identify here, why you are writing this as R cross P. Okay, for that I will give one more diagram to understand that concept. Now here, if this is R, okay, now here this is a particle. Now here this is the direction of P. You can identify here. Now this angle will be 90 degrees. Both R and P are perpendicular to each other. Now due to that, the resultant quantity, whatever we are going to get, that is the angular momentum. So that's what the reason we are marking this as r cross p. Okay. Now if you want to remove the cross here, then what you will write? Or let me do one thing. I will replace p as mv because you got here p equals to mv. Okay, you got p equals to mv. Now I will write this as r cross, r bar cross m v bar. Okay. Now here, if you want to remove the cross product, so I can write this as r mv sine theta. Now what is the value of theta here? This is theta here. This is equals to 90 degrees. So now if you go with the substitution here, what you will get? R mv sine 90 degrees. Okay. Now here sine 90 value is 1. This is equal to 1. Now what you will get here? R mv. Now again go with the substitution here. Earlier you got v equals to r omega. Now substitute that. We are going to substitute this. Then what you will get here? R m, substitute here r omega. Now if you rewrite this, you will get this as m r square omega. Okay. So now here, previously we had seen mr square. In the previous concept, you might have remember that mr square can be written as I. Now here this is regarding a single particle, Now regarding the entire system of particles. So what is the meaning of system of particles? It is nothing but a rigid body. Rigid body, or else you can consider that as system of particles. What is the reason here? Now if you are considering there is a rigid body, so there are large number of particles inside this rigid body. Now due to that, we are considering simply a rigid body as a collection of particles. So simply we are writing it as a system of particles. Now in this particular system, if we are considering only one particle, if we are considering the particle is having mass m1, then the second particle will be having m2. And similarly, if you are considering the point of reference here, the distance between these two and the distance between these two, for the first particle it is r1, this is r2. So these things we had seen. Now similarly, you will get number of particles. There are number of particles. Now for that one, if you consider the total concept, then what you will write here, L will be equal to the summation of m r square, okay, and here omega. So the summation here, why you are getting the summation? If you are considering the entire body, you are having large number of particles. Large number of particles means what you have to do actually, if you are considering only two particles means you will get m1 r1 square omega. For the second particle, m2 r2 square omegas. Okay. So now those substitutions, if you can go with those substitutions, similar to that, you are going to get the summation here. Instead of adding all those things, we are getting the expression in terms of summation here. Now you will replace this factor as I. So what is I here? I is nothing but the moment of inertia. Okay, what is I here? I is nothing but I equals to summation of mr square. Now what we can write about I? I is nothing but the moment of inertia. Of a rigid body which is rotating about the fixed point or the fixed axis. Okay, now that is a thing we are going to replace here. Just the concluding equation here, we can write this as L equals to I omega. So here this is the expression for the angular momentum. Angular momentum of a rigid body here. Okay, rotating about the fixed axis. So if you want to compare this one with the momentum, linear momentum, if you are going to compare here, let us compare here. Okay, I will write a comparison here. So what is a comparison? We are comparing about the linear momentum. Okay, and the angular momentum. We will take these two and we will compare what is going on here. Now regarding linear momentum, P equals to mv. That was the equation we wrote. Now what is the angular momentum? Angular momentum is L equals to I omega. Now if you can compare here, this is going, m is going to be replaced with I, and here the linear velocity is going to be replaced with the angular velocity. So now here if you want to identify the projections of vector, so here v is the vector here and p is the vector. So whatever the direction of v is there, the direction of p will be same. And similarly here, omega will be having the vector quantity, it is a vector quantity, and the direction of omega is there. Whatever the direction is there, the result will be also in the same direction. Now this is going to be the comparison here. What we had replaced here regarding the linear momentum, you got P equals to mv. So m is replaced with the I. What is I here? I is the linear, the moment of inertia. And what is the replacement for v? It is the angular velocity. Okay. Now here, how can you identify the direction of this particular L means? I will give one diagram here. I will give a diagram here. Let me refer to that. So if you can refer this diagram, I think you are able to see this particular diagram. Are you able to see the diagram? Okay, right hand thumb rule. Okay, right hand thumb rule. Okay, so the same thing here. If you are considering a point is there, okay, if you can refer to this particular point, hand is there. If a point is there, if this particular disk is rotating in this direction, okay. Now if you can compare with the hand, right hand here. Now consider these fingers are curled in this direction. Okay, the direction is in this direction. What is the meaning here? The disk is rotating in this direction. So the fingers are curled in this direction. Now what is the result here? The thumb is going to give the result. Now the direction of omega, the angular velocity is in this direction, and similarly the result L is also in the same direction. So both these two are in the same direction here. So remember that the rotation is in this direction. So that's why the result is going to be in this direction regarding the direction of thumb. Now, if you rotate in the opposite direction, you need to change the hand here. Change the hand. Let me see whether the diagram is available or not. Okay, now here we are getting that image here. Okay, now are you able to see the image here? So both the things are there. If the fingers are curled in this direction, the disk is rotating in this direction like this. Now here referred both the directions are there. If the disk is rotating, you can identify the arrow mark here. If the disk is rotating in this direction, the result of L, the direction of L is there in the downward direction. Okay. If the fingers are rotating in this form means the disk is rotating like this. and the result is going to be towards this green arrow mark. Now, if the disk rotates in this direction, okay, if you can refer to the arrow mark here, then the result will be downward direction. So these things you need to identify if you are applying for the real-time application. Okay, that is about the last topic, which is very small topic. Actually, the unit is very small, the third unit. So let us see what we are going to write. So this is a topic we had seen. Okay, now you can identify what we had explained. Now this is the angular momentum. The angular momentum L can be written as, so I wrote this as R cross P. So what is the reason means I had considered a circle or a disk here. Okay, now here this is a center and I had moved from this particular point. I had moved from this point and through a distance r, and from here you got a particle is moving and the momentum of the particle is p, which is there in this direction. The angle between these two is 90 degrees. That's what the reason I mentioned as L equals to R cross P. Okay, now if you can want the substitution here, you go with this as mv bar, or else you can write this as m. You can take out the scalar quantity outside this, then you will write this as r cross v. Then what you can write? You can write this as L equals to, if you remove the cross product, you can write this as mrv sine theta. Sine theta. So what is the theta value here? This is theta here. Theta equals to 90 degrees. So what you will get here? mv, I can write this mrv sine theta. Sine theta in the sense it is 1. Sine 90 is nothing but 1. Sine 90 equal to 1. So the same thing here, you had substituted the value as 1. Okay. Now that's the reason. And thereafter, you got those expressions. Let me write once again here. I'm explaining the same topic here. Now we had given the disk, and from the center of the disk, we are considering this as the axis of rotation, and we had considered a point is there at a distance of r, and we are considering this particle is moving with some velocity v in this direction. So in the same direction, you are going to get p. What is p here? P is nothing but the linear momentum here. And if you can identify, these two are perpendicular to each other. And so here the 90 degrees angle will be there between R and P. And due to that, what you are going to get? The angular momentum. How can you give the angular momentum? It is the cross product of R and the momentum here. So if you want to replace this, P is equal to mv. So you can replace P as mv bar. So now here, remove the scalar quantity outside the bracket, and you can write this as cross v here. Okay. Now remove the cross product here. What you can write? Rv sine theta. Now identify theta equals to 90 degrees. What is the reason here? Because R and P are perpendicular to each other. R and P are perpendicular to each other. So that's why this is 90 degrees. So now here what you will get? mRV sine 90 degrees. This value is equal to 1. This is equal to 1. So what you will write? This is mRV. Now thereafter what we had substituted as V equals to R omega. Can go with the substitution. You will write mr into R omega. So you'll get this as mr square omega. Now this is only for a single particle. Now if you are having two particles, for two particles, what you will write? m1 r1 square omega, m2 r2 square omega. Now if there are more number of particles means, you will continue with the same factors continuously. Now what you will conclude there? You will take the summation and you will write like this. So what is this factor we are substituting here? We are substituting this as I. I is nothing but mr square, summation of this. What is I? I is the moment of inertia. Of a rigid body which is rotating under or about a axis. So now what is the conclusion here? L equals to I omega. This is the angular velocity, the angular momentum, and here you need to identify the vector quantities. So now here I is a scalar quantity, and omega is the vector quantity, and here as a result you will get this as a vector quantity, and the direction of L will be same as that of omega. Okay, whatever the direction of omega is there, in the same direction we are going to find the result or the angular momentum. Okay, so that is the topic, which is the end of the third unit. Now if you are having any doubts, you can ask me regarding these topics.